The name O'Neill is synonymous with Tyrone. In fact, the name O'Neill is known all around the world. And I am standing here in a place called Tullyhog, where the O'Neills were crowned king. And I'm going to talk to Art O'Dolly of the O'Neill Country Historical Society. Art, tell me a wee bit about that great family.
Well, since we're here on Tullyhog, maybe the most important thing is to tell you that this was a very, very sacred place to the O'Neills, because they had taken it over from other people way back in the 8th century. And they were here until the 16th. And all that time, I mean, this was the place where they were crowned.
Right.
They probably were just a bit more powerful militarily than the people who were already here. In that way, they established their power base. So they became probably the most important clan maybe in the whole of Ireland. They never held the high kingship, but at times they were as good as high kings.
Now, the O'Neills have been involved in many skirmishes and great battles, one in particular, the Yellow Ford. Could you tell me a wee bit about that, please?
You would have to go south towards Armagh to get to the Yellow Ford. It's actually just about 2-3 miles outside Armagh on the Dungannon side. The Yellow Ford was a fantastic victory for O'Neill. He had his land well prepared, he knew exactly what he was doing, even the trenches built. He had them covered over so that you couldn't see them, and I mean it was a complete victory.
So O'Neill was a great military man.
He was a great military man, and he was also quite a good diplomat.
Thank you so much for telling me the history of the O'Neills.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Now, Art was telling me about the Battle of the Yellow Ford, and the sight of O'Neill's army must have been quite arresting in the midst of battle. And I'm here with Dave Swift, who's going to explain a wee bit about the costume and the uniform that the soldiers would have worn. Dave, how are you?
How are you doing? Well, we'll start from the top, is the easiest thing to do. On my top is a helmet known as the comb marion, because of the high comb at the top. The helmet was designed to deflect blows away from the user, left and right, that's why it's rounded. And there's a brim all around to protect the face, the shoulders and the back of the neck. The reason being is that in battle, most blows were coming down from the top. You couldn't strike to the left, you couldn't strike to the right as much as you could. Mainly mail armour has fallen out of use at this stage. There's some around, but very little. Some of the gallows glasses may still have been present at the Yellow Ford, but it's more likely that most of them were bunnocks like myself, levied soldiers.
Is that a paid soldier?
It's a paid soldier. A bunnock was the term of the payment.
So you're part of a paid army?
The sword is of the most distinctive 16th century Irish type. The distinguishing feature is the hollow ring pommel just here. So far, I think 8 of these have been found in Ireland altogether, and they're found in all parts of Ireland. West, east, north and south. This particular example though is based on an example from Loughney, County Loughney.
Right. And wooden handle.
Wooden handle,
metal.
Which may perhaps have been wrapped in leather. It is a very light sword. The Irish swords were very quick and suited their skirmishing style of warfare.
And this is the pike, is that right?
This is the Spart axe. Yeah, this is the main distinguishing weapon of the gallows glasses. This particular example is based on a find from the River Blackwater between counties Armagh and Tyrone in a place called Clonteevy. They were very fearsome weapons. Apparently the blades were as sharp as a shoemaker's knife, and the haft was the height of the man that wielded it. So that gave it massive momentum. You know, there was barely anything that could stand against it, but of course the defensive qualities were virtually nil, hence the requirement for mail from head to foot.
Well, Dave, all I can say is pity the poor army that faced such fearsome weapons. Though the O'Neills were crowned at Tullyhog, this was their real seat of power, the castle in Dungannon. Now, there are so many other stories to tell. So if you want to find out more about the O'Neills in that period in history, why not come to County Tyrone?